It looks like the sound has come on. That's generally the first sound that the runners are about to be on their way. And they are. IrregularJinny versus butterfinger1084, round 1. And Jinny is off. And now Butterfinger is off. We've got about a 20-second delay between the two streams. And they go now through the initial gunvolt section, and Jinny has made it to the Bs without any problems. He gets a machine gun B there. That's the best B that you can get. Mashes his way through very nicely, and now he's on to the second B, as Butterfinger1084 heads through his gunvolt section, and he is onwards to his B as well. He gets a passive B, but he's able to get the single bonk, so both of our runners are able to get through the B section. Butterfinger's not there yet, but... And now we've got a good sync. So we see there IrregularJinny did get a passive B and a missile B, so he's at 2 health, whereas Butterfinger did get a single bonk, so he's at 4 health. So Butterfinger will be able to do a strat known as Tazcars if he so chooses, whereas Jinny is just going to be able to run to the end of the stage now that he has less than 3 health. There is an unwinnable boss fight at the end that requires you to be at 3 health or less to lose as quickly as possible. So that's why they've been taking intentional damage here. Butterfinger is not going to go for the optimal Tazcars. He's going to choose to do this single Tazcar strat instead. Much safer to do. And it appears... Uh-oh. Butterfinger's going to get a 3rd car. And that will give a little bit of time loss there, but it looked like the 3rd car was intentional. Looks like Jinny has some split noises on his stream. That was pretty cool. But Jinny does take a very small lead into the Penguin stage, where both of our runners will be going next. They will be going there because it is the first stage where you're able to get the dash boots. And here we are in the Snow Mountain stage. Our runners are able to mash through the Axemen and get past the damaging robots. Those robots actually do 4 health of damage if you bonk into them. And now they make their way to the inner cave, and when they get into the inner cave, you're going to see some of them using so-called slope jumps. Neither of them went for the first one there. Jinny nailed one there. He got a 2nd one. Butterfinger did as well. Those slope jumps say small amounts of time, but what they're used for is as you're traveling down a slope, your movement speed increases. And so if you jump while going down that slope, you'll actually carry the speed and the height through the jump. So you can move down the hill, jump, carry that speed up the hill. As you see them, they turn back around after they jump, and that gives you the extra height to be able to get to, not only to get through the area faster, but also to get to that first ledge that they have to jump up on. And loving the sync right now. They are both neck and neck, and this is kind of how we expect this race to be for the majority of the time. RNG might be a factor at the end on who wins, but both of our runners are going to be close the whole race. And Butterfinger will enter the Penguin fight first. IrregularJinny is hot on his heels. And this is really the first boss where RNG can really be a pain in the butt. You see the slides there. When Penguin is sliding, he is invincible to all damage. So right now, both of our runners, well, Jinny has got a second one, so he takes an RNG disadvantage lead. Oh, another one there. Oh, it's tied up now. And Butterfinger dies. Oh, Butterfinger kills Penguin. And Jinny, with an extra slide, is able to take out Butterfinger with some swag, fade out strats there. That saves 20 frames for each one that you get. So his stream did not crash, if you were thinking that. And IrregularJinny onwards to Kawanger. This is one of the few vertical areas in the game that our runners will have to traverse. And vertical sections in the Mega Man games are generally very hard. Butterfinger gets through the turtles areas, and Jinny gets through the turtles as well. They both stopped on the missiles, so there is a way that you can get past the missiles without taking any damage and without stopping. Neither of our runners went for that strat, as it can be a bit difficult and it requires an entire setup. If you miss one of them, which our runners didn't miss the first one, unfortunately, you're going to miss all of them. And that's a lot of damage to be taking in this category. So you're actually going to see our runners taking on the ladders a little bit differently. Butterfinger is just choosing to climb up the ladders, whereas IrregularJinny is choosing to kick off the side of the wall of each one. That's actually called a legacy strat. It's used a lot in TAS, and you see IrregularJinny as well as a lot of the older school runners who have been running this game for a while do it. IrregularJinny will do that on every single ladder. So, except for that one apparently, as we're talking about it. But now we get to the Kawanger fight, and this is just a simple dance for our runners. You get right up into his face. You force him to want to grab you, and then you shoot him in the face. Butterfinger gets the kill. Jinny chose not to go for the dance. Oh, and Jinny gets killed. That is not a good thing. The blue shot actually caused a little bit of physics problems in that fight. And you see he was really close to Kawanger when he fired the blue shot, so the blue shot actually spawned behind Kawanger. When that happened, instead of Kawanger being knocked backwards, he got knocked forward right into Jinny. That was not intended, obviously. Yeah. As Mavel said, that is a chill penguin death. You generally see those types of physics in the chill penguin fight, but they can happen in every fight where the boss has a knockback. If you're too close to them, you can knock them into you instead of away from you. Butterfinger gets through the cave. Looks like he took 3 bonks on the cave, basing by his health. And this is a very nice to have after the verticalness of the Kawanger stage, to just have a straight right stage. It really helps you relax your hands and stuff like that. And now you're going to see the boss fight is another really simple fight. It's just a simple left-to-right pattern. There's not really much more you can do to make this faster. You just hit him the second his iframes are over, and you're through the fight. Now Butterfinger will be traversing to the Eagle stage as IrregularJinny cleans up the swamp. And you're actually going to see more legacy strats from Jinny here. Butterfinger chose to just stay on the ground the entire time. Jinny is actually going to fight Chameleon on the left wall. He pretty much won't leave the left wall. There is no difference between the two fights. Well, it looks like I'll just need to not talk about Jinny strats anymore. He's changing them up on us. Spamming the boomerangs, getting them out. And Butterfinger, the first safety item of the game for both of our runners, picking up the E-Tank. Now he's going through the platforms. These platforms can really be a pain in the butt, as well as the platforms in the spider section. You actually have to be moving in the direction that you're going for 6 frames before you can input a dash, otherwise it just gets dropped. And nobody wants their dash inputs to be dropped because that's exactly how you jump straight into a pit of death. So, Jinny now, coming up. It doesn't look like he's going to go for the quick platforms. He's just going to jump straight over, kill the Skyclaw, and now he's on his way as well. And Jinny will be bypassing the E-Tank, so that's actually going to be about 9 seconds of time save that Jinny's going to pick up by skipping that E-Tank. You don't have to wait for the tower to go up. And it also looks like Butterfinger got 5 dives, so a perfect fight for Jinny. And he's slowly clawing his way back into this. So Jinny makes it to the Eagle fight. Let's see what type of RNG he gets. And now this is where any route divergence that can take place in our run can happen. Our runners can choose to go Mandrill next or Eagle next. He's going to get a hover. Oh, he's going to go all the way up. So this looks like it's going to be about 4 dives. No, he's going to get 3 dives from Eagle. So he's still going to save a little bit of time on Butterfinger on the RNG. But didn't get everything that he could have gotten. So now you see Butterfinger going through the Mandrill hallway with the tornadoes. Mandrill or Mammoth, it could be either or. And now that they have killed both Penguin and Eagle, they can pretty much do Mammoth whenever they want, so it does have the ability to create some route divergences, but Jinny will be going Mandrill next, so we'll be able to stay in tune for a little bit longer here. And you pretty much have the strongest weapon in the game now that you have tornadoes, especially when it comes to marching through these areas. The tornado actually does damage on every single frame, so even if you have 16 health, 20,000 health, 700 quadrillion health, that tornado is going to kill you in one shot, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. So So, Jinny mashing his way through Thunder Slimer, and he kills him with his last boomerang. Butterfinger fighting Mandrill now. The two are only separated by half a stage. Don't give up on Jinny. Anything can happen in any percent. That's why it's called any percent, because anything can happen. It's actually not why it's called any percent at all, by the way. Jinny getting past the Hatarians, and Butterfinger on his way to Armadillo stage, so it does look like Butterfinger will be choosing the Mammoth last route. Let's see where Jinny goes as he cleans up the Mandrill stage. Oh, he's got to be really careful with those punches. That's a lot of damage, and he's able to dodge the last one very nicely. I'd expect nothing less from Jinny. Quality tier runner. Both of these runners right next to each other. And Jinny will be going Dillo. So it looks like they're both going to stick to the same route, and that will be nice for all of the viewers, as well as me. We'll all know where they are at for all times. And again, Butterfinger maintaining his roughly about a half-stage lead over Jinny. But this is another fight right here that RNG, if it just rolls the magic number 1 and decides that you've got the critical hit in the wrong area, can just ruin your entire day. And he breaks out after the second roll for Butterfinger, so very nicely done there. He gets an extra roll, but after he loses his armor, it doesn't really matter. You can continue damaging him. Ooh, Jinny almost walked off the platform without dashing. That would have been not good. One thing you did see is that Butterfinger actually did pick up the heart as well. And the heart pickup is actually a really important pickup. It is the most optimum heart to grab since it's right in the way, but it also serves a second purpose. It gives you 18 health, and 18 health is actually a breakpoint in Mega Man X, especially for the any percent category. The final boss, Vogarder Sigma, does 8 health of damage with his claws, which generally are the ones that are going to kill you. You usually don't have too many problems with lightning, but I'm sure I've just cursed everybody in this game. Oh, Jinny actually misread his health and fired a lemon instead of a rolling shield. Oh, Butterfinger, don't die. But having 18 health basically means that the claws have to hit you 3 times instead of 2. So 1 heart tank in this game can actually be the difference between living and dying. Especially that 1 heart. So, both of our runners going to launch now. Launch Octopus Stage is basically 4 mini-bosses combined into a really long level jerk at the end of it. And water physics and lots of spikes. So, as Jinny comes up on the first angler, you'll notice that he's going to just mash him down. The angler has about 10 iframes, so that's why you don't see them mashing as quickly as possible. They're actually timing their shots. And now he'll do the same thing here. And he chose to stay away from the spikes, maybe for health reasons. Small little triangles in platformers are actually bad for you. He gets a good Utu kill. And now Butterfinger heading on to his last 8-map stage, the Mammoth. IrregularJinny is catching up slowly. But he is catching up. And Butterfinger going bottom route. Not gonna try to get the top route zip skip. And Jinny takes out Octo very easily. Very, very nicely done. And now he is on his way to his final 8-map stage. At this point, the only difference between our 2 runners is the death that Jinny took on Kwanger. Otherwise, these runners have been neck and neck for the entire run. That is the only compromise in the 2 right now. From a safety strat standpoint, IrregularJinny has chosen to go straight low percent. He has not picked up any health or sub-tanks. Butterfinger has 1 heart and 1 E-tank. So when it gets into the later stages, Butterfinger has a little bit of an advantage in the fact that he is able to make an error and still be fine. Jinny cannot make any mistakes. And that looks like a 20:03 teleport time for Butterfinger. Jinny is roughly about 40-45 seconds behind. Going into the fortress now, where leads don't matter. First area of opportunity for Butterfinger is the Leap of Faith, where you have to manipulate the platforms in a certain fashion to be able to skip all of the waiting. Butterfinger unfortunately took a bonk from that Jamminger, and he was not able to grab that ledge. And it looks like it's actually a 49-second lead at the end of 8 maps for Jinny, for Butterfinger. And now you come up to Vile Skip. You see him grab the ladder, hop down, and wall kick up the side of the wall. And I just spilled all of my water. Nice. And now he's able to get through the final floor without... And as long as he doesn't soft lock the game here, and he's able to get the quick skip. Very nicely done by Butterfinger. Now you're going to see Jinny. He's able to get the Leap of Faith. Oh, but he's not able to get up the wall in time, and he gets blocked by the turret, so... A little bit of fire wave strats there on the Walker. And now... one more hit for Butterfinger, and Vile is dead. And now Jinny, going into the Vile fight, shoots the rolling shield, and he gets the tech skip. Does he get the quick skip? He gets the quick skip. Now Butterfinger now has the arm cannon upgrade, and he will be able to use charged areas. He releases his C-Sting, goes to the wall, and now he's onward to the Chameleon fight. He is not going to be going for the Kawanger skip, and now Jinny into the Vile fight. And that's a darn good Vile fight. Butterfinger going for the second dance. Oh, he gets grabbed there. Oh, Butterfinger's got a little bit of trouble, but he's got him into the teleport stage now. So once you get into the teleport stage, you can pretty much just stand still and be good to go. Jinny now on his way. Oh, he slipped off the bouncy castles. And now he's up the tower, and well, he does farm a little bit of health there, but now he's in Kawanger, and Butterfinger immediately gets babies from Spider, which the babies from Spider early are not that big of a nuisance to any of our runners. The babies late can be a pain. However, what the babies are doing is the babies are creating just lost time. Lost time for Butterfinger is all that matters right now. He's got 2. Reading the patterns like a champion. There's 3 babies from Spider. And 1 more pattern, and Spider is dead. Butterfinger with a 3 baby pattern. But he was able to handle it very well. Takes care of it, and now IrregularJinny's turn. These two are basically an entire boss fight behind each other. Oh, and Jinny misses a charge. And now he's going to get Baby's punished for it. Wasn't close enough. He thought he still had the dash input. Now that's a lost cycle. And a second set of children from Spider. Again, Jinny is handling this very, very well. He's got 2 more cycles to go. And, alright, well. Oh, he misread that pattern. And he's going to have to do another cycle now. So he got 2 additional cycles on top of the 2 babies. Very, very unfortunate for Jinny there. He needed a perfect fight to be able to try to catch back up. Going into Sigma 2, this is basically where the game developers put every single bit of RNG. You've got Penguin, you've got Eagle, and you've got a stupid face at the very end that everybody just wants to punch. All of the RNG, all of the feels. Penguin immediately gives slides. Now, one thing to note is actually Butterfinger actually did have a very bad hallway, so that is more room for Jinny to catch up. If the Penguin stops sliding, that is, he has given Jinny so many problems. Jinny's really close to running out of ammo too. He's only got 1 charge left. That only happens when you get a bad Penguin. Eagle. Not a very kind Eagle for Butterfinger as well. It looks like Jinny's going to be using the charging strat here. He uses E-Spark on the way through. Alright, left eye dead now for Butterfinger. Nose is now dead. 2 more hits, 1 more, and oh, he closes right at the end. And that's a perfect Eagle fight for Jinny to make up for the horrible, horrible, horrible Penguin. But now he needs a really good Rangda as well. Moving on, we've got Dillo Skip coming up. Oh no! Butterfinger's gonna have to take a death here. It won't affect too much of the run, but it's gonna give Jinny about 20 seconds of catch-up. Oh, he does it again! Dillo Skip not being nice to Butterfinger. And if Jinny could get any color other than green, he would be able to catch up here. 3rd time's the charm for Butterfinger. And that is some massive catching up for Jinny. Unfortunately, the RNG was Butterfinger's side. 3 green eyes and 17,000 slides from Jinny in Rangda 2, or he would be right next to Butterfinger. But Jinny still has to execute the trick that Butterfinger wasn't able to do. He's still got to get Dillo Skip here. And he doesn't get Dillo Skip. And not only does he not get Dillo Skip, but he goes through the door. And now he's going to have to fight Armadillo. That is basically a 2-boss advantage for Butterfinger. As IrregularJinny goes into Chameleon, Butterfinger is now leaving Mandrill stage. Oh, hey, here's the strat that I was telling you guys about 15 stages ago. This is how IrregularJinny normally does the fight. He stays on the left wall. He just didn't feel like doing it the first time. Oh! One final rolling shield away. Octo with the swirly. And now, Butterfinger heading through. Picks up the safety health. And now he's on his way to Mammoth. Jinny just now finishing off Mandrill. Oh, missed the dash there. He's not going to go for the health, so he's got to be extremely careful with this Octo fight. Now, Butterfinger on his way to the D-Rex fight. He uses a charge C-Sting there. Or not C-Sting, he uses a charge Boomerang. Oh no, Butterfinger ran right into the left ear of D-Rex and he takes a death. And he's got to be very careful now. Not only is his ammo questionable, but he could also potentially be out of lives if he dies again. So he's going to have to do this fight perfectly with Buster and make no mistakes. This is going to be a very impromptu fight for Butterfinger. This is not something that your top tier runners usually practice. So, but it looks like he's handling it very well. One more shot. Dead D-Rex. GG to D-Rex. And now Jinny catching up. He is now only a D-Rex fight away. And it makes missing the Dillo skip all that more important. Oh no! Jinny takes a second death himself. Was not able to get the dash input. He has a few more boomerangs than Butterfinger does. But he's going to have to do the entire fight now with Buster. And again, this is an improv fight. This is not something you normally see practiced. Butterfinger now on to the Jedi Sigma fight. This is a very timing fight. You generally don't take damage on the fight, which is good. But once you get yourself into a good rhythm, that's where you can kind of, oh, Butterfinger takes him out on the right wall. Very, very nicely done. And now, Butterfinger. 16 rolling shields away from victory. It's like, Jinny. Jinny is choosing a .ff. Maybe he's already seen the dot done come out from Butterfinger and is just choosing to end the race now. And that is actually what happened. Jinny just choosing to start race 2 as soon as possible. 34:18 official time for Butterfinger. GG to him as he takes race 1. And now going into race number 2. We're gonna take a few moments to reset up, and we will start very soon. Right. Everybody is back from their bio break, and we will be getting race 2 started very soon. Butterfinger takes race number 1 with a time of 34 minutes and 18 seconds. IrregularJinny will be looking to bring this back to a race number 3. They're continuing to get their SRL chat set up. We will be started momentarily. Looks like we've got a reset on Butterfinger's timer. We should be seeing our runners go back to the start screens very soon. There's the reset from Butterfinger and the reset from Jinny as well. Looks like we're going to be underway. Race number 2. IrregularJinny versus butterfinger1084. And we've got the sound back. That's the cue from the audio team that they are about to start. And the dance at the start screen. You see them do this because if you stay idle on the start screen for too long, you will actually, the game will actually go into the demo screen. And they're off! Butterfinger1084 versus IrregularJinny, round 2 fight. IrregularJinny looking to bring this back to a game 3. As they go through the intro stage, mashing their way past the gun volts and the road crushers. We were both able to knock them out pretty easily last time. So now we get to the bees. Let's see what type of RNG they get from our bees. And it looks like Butterfinger's going for the single bonk strat, but IrregularJinny did get the passives. So Butterfinger is going to be good on health, but IrregularJinny's going to need some help here. Oh, he does not get any. And he's going to have to take the bee down from the front. So that is very unfortunate for Jinny. As if he had taken that bee the same way he had taken the first bee, he would have died. Butterfinger with the optimized single bonk strat on the first bee goes through with 4 health. And now he's going to be able to do it. He actually did a modified task car last time. And he's going to choose to do that again. IrregularJinny is... It looks like he's also going to do the same task car strat to lose health. Alright, so both of our runners have 3 health now. And that's a perfect ship for Butterfinger. And not a good ship for Jinny. It looks like Butterfinger is going to benefit from a 2-flat grab, whereas Jinny 206. And that is basically the difference between Jinny getting passive bees. In the extremely unlikely event that they do get a tie, it would come down to whoever typed .done B in first. Oh, Butterfinger takes a bonk from the bunny, and like we were talking about in race number 1, those bunny rabbits do 4 health of damage if you run into them for whatever reason. The ray bits are just so strong in this. Gets the nice slope jump there. Jinny also doing a couple of them. And we're on to the dash capsule. And now our runners get to go fast. This is where the game really turns on. Ooh. Butterfinger took a little bonk there from the Jamminger, but he's still able to get no stop hallway, with the exception that he stopped. Now, dashing their way through the mountains, going to the snow turrets. Butterfinger with a very nice snow turret section, and now Jinny gonna take a damage boost there. That's actually an intentional damage boost. He enters the penguin fight right on Butterfinger's heels. Now, in last race, the penguin highly favored Butterfinger in both the refight and the initial fight. But Butterfinger's got to be really careful. He doesn't have a lot of health left to his name. Oh, Butterfinger. One more damage. 1-1. And Butterfinger stands tall and takes him out. A double slide for Jinny. And Jinny takes care of Penguin. And the unfortunate double slide for Jinny there. Alrighty, next on to Boomer Kawanger's stage. This is the vertical climb. This is where Jinny really kind of took a back seat in last run due to the unfortunate death that he took to Kawanger. He's looking to avenge that here. And we get to see our good old-fashioned legacy strats again. Everybody loves it. Oh, but he does take a bonk from that ladder, and that might... No, he's going to be able to get those turtles. So. And last one. Very nicely done by Jinny. Both of our runners are on the elevator at the same time. You see Jinny here taking damage boosts off the wall. This is actually kind of an exploitation glitch that you can do. If you jump and then wall kick off the spikes without holding a directional pad, it will give you the wall kick and the iframes, but it won't give you the damage because you didn't technically touch the spikes. So the runners use that to be able to get them as far into the wall as possible so they don't have to move on the elevator. And then it basically allows them to relax their hands for a little bit because this stage can be a piece of work. Jinny was teasing at the idea of getting the Iceless Heart. He chose not to. And now Butterfinger, starting up the dance with the Kawanger. And now the Kawanger's in his teleport section, and for anybody that is wondering, when Kawanger gets into his teleport section, we really just want to stand still. You notice that Jinny is actually not standing still, but the reason he's not standing still is because he doesn't do the dance. So, for Jinny to stand still, he's not actually in his teleports. He doesn't actually go into that phase, really ever. Jinny takes care of Kawanger, gets his revenge on the Death Beetle from last run. And now on to the Chameleon stage. Butterfinger going through the cave. He had a very, very poor cave. Not from execution, but... Oh! And again, having another poor cave, more and more bonks, and he almost got killed by that rock that tried to knock him down into the hole. Picks up the extra life for safety. But now Jinny's turn for the cave. Jinny does take a bonk. It looks like the cave is being generous to Jinny. And he gets through the cave with a single bonk. So he'll be able to pick up a couple of seconds with that. He also picks up the extra life there. And now on to the chameleon fight. The simple left-right pattern, it really doesn't get any easier than this for a boss. And Chameleon is dead. 9:16 kill time for Butterfinger. And it doesn't look like Jinny's gonna be stricken to his legacy strats here either. He does miss a boomerang though. Ooh, he misses more boomerangs. But 9:42 kill time there, so it is a 26-second lead going into Eagle stage for Butterfinger. Oh, and it looks like Butterfinger is going to be optimizing his route a little bit. He is skipping the Eagle tank. He actually did not need to use it last run, so those 9 seconds, now that Jinny doesn't have a death to his name, might be weighing in on his mind a little bit. Jinny damage boosting off the flame turret, hopping over to the tower, and now he's on his way to Eagle stage. They've both had a very, very clean stage so far. It's all going to come down to Eagle RNG and Eagle for Butterfinger. That's one dive, but he comes right back down, gives him a hover, gives him some children, and one dive Eagle for Butterfinger. Not too much time lost at all. Butterfinger with another fade out. He got one last run. He's got one now. Jinny. Oh, he does miss a shot there. But Jinny with a 0 dive Eagle. Had a small little execution gaff on the iframes there, but not too big of one. Now heading off with the Storm Tornado to the Eagle stage. As we discussed last run, this basically kills everything you need ever. And you're going to see them modifying the use of the Storm Tornado here. As long as you keep it on the screen, it will just fly right next to X. It will speed up at the very end to where it gets off screen, but you can pretty much go through that entire hallway as you see Butterfinger just did, just using a tornado. Jinny did not get the tank. Jinny went straight low percent route last run. I would assume that he's going to be doing that this run as well. And getting through this section very much, picks up a health drop. Jinny having a little bit of trouble with the Thunder Slimer, who thinks he's a trampoline. But Thunder Slimer is now dead. And he will be able to head through the hallway now to get to the Mandrill fight. Alright, Mandrill. Pretty easy to fight casually because you just freeze him and keep him frozen forever. Not very easy to fight speed because we optimize his awe frames just a little bit, and that was a really slick dash underneath the walker at the top. Now, Jinny was a 13:24 kill time for Butterfinger. Well, we gotta be careful with those punches, especially with this amount of health left. And a 13:56 kill time for Jinny. So Butterfinger has grown his lead by 8 seconds over the last stages. And now heading to the Armadillo. Armadillo was not nice to Butterfinger last run. Ooh. Misses a couple of dashes there. Nothing too much to worry about. Now IrregularJinny heading through the minecart of his zone. Couple of shots, takes out the Flamingo. Nice execution through this part of the area by both of our runners, actually. You see Butterfinger jumping off the cart. That's to make sure that you don't get the birds to spawn. It causes a significant amount of lag. Jinny showing off his mashing skills. And now Butterfinger. Oh, Dillo's doing it again. I think a 5 roll pattern there. And you see Jinny, rather than jumping up and down on it, it does basically the same exact thing. Butterfinger uses every single bit of his ammo to kill Dillo. And he even finishes him off with a shot from the back. And now Jinny gets a 1 roll pattern, so much better than the pattern Butterfinger got. These rolls don't actually matter, because as you see from Jinny there, you can time the shots and still damage them. Very well done there. Now, we've got 2 stages left in the 8 maps portion for both of our runners. Jinny, got to be very careful on those spikes, especially with that second angler. Alright, Butterfinger dashing his way to the Utoboros. Jinny with a nice little trick there, dashing into the wind and then jumping back through it. Now he gets to the second Uto. Or second angler, excuse me. Now he's on his way to the Uto. It's basically just a big giant moray eel. Now octopus for Butterfinger, and he's going with the swirlies. 1 swirly. There's a second one. There's a... Oh, he catches them right at the end. 1 more frame, and Butterfinger would have gotten a 3rd swirly, but the clutch rolling shield is able to get rid of him. And now Jinny here. Let's see if he can repeat his RNG that he got from Octo last run. He's got to be really careful, though. He cannot take any more hits. Well, he can take 1 more. He gets a perfect octopus. And Butterfinger heading through the minor section on his way to the second conveyor belts. Jinny starting at the first conveyor belt area. Butterfinger brings out the Tornado to take out the Hoganman. Very nicely done, and now he's on his way to Mammoth. Both of these runners with really good times right now. And the Miners. And now Mammoth. Another simple boss fight. Just put the Tornado as closely to his face as you can. Get the double hit. And 1927 time for Butterfinger. Very nice 8 Mavs. And now Jinny heading in. Looking to get his own solid 8 Mav time. And that's going to be a 1958 8 Mavs. That's roughly about a 36-second lead for Butterfinger going into the fortress. Oh, Butterfinger. And he pulls out of Leap of Faith there. Probably very good that he did so. That was a very sketchy setup, especially bonking the Jamminger there. Now Butterfinger getting the second part of the Vial skip. Oh, Jinny also pulls out. And clean skip for Jinny as well, at least for the cutscene. Let's see if he can get the text skip. It's Butterfinger into the Vial fight now. He does take some damage there, but he's able to take care of Vial very nicely. And it's also a good skip for Jinny. Now on to the Vial fight. Oh, Jinny gets grabbed. He takes him out nicely, and Butterfinger decides that he wants to get his butt kicked on the wall there. And he's down to 1 health now, so he's going to have to be very careful with this dance. Oh no, Butterfinger! He's going to have to go all the way back to where Zero dies, and our runners are tied now. Well, kinda. Butterfinger has about a 2-second lead, but man, oh man, he really needed to be a little bit more patient with that fight. And this is a brand new race again. Now you're gonna see he goes into the dance, and he's getting a really good dance right now. But you see the difference between how much quicker the dance is than the strat that you saw Jinny using there. But Jinny died to Kowanger in race 1. Butterfinger has died to Kowanger in race number 2. And now the Fortress RNG and Runner Execution will be the determining in this race. the way it should be. Alright. Both of our runners reading the patterns very nicely. We do know that Jinny had a couple of misreads last race. So far, he's cleaned those up. More babies for Spider. More Spider. More babies from Spider, and they killed Jinny! And Butterfinger regains the lead after that one. Immediately starting with spiders. And more spiders. He actually does miss that charge as well. He doesn't have any more ice left. Oh, he didn't notice that he didn't have more ice left. That's not good. So he does miss that cycle. Meanwhile, oh, he does misread that cycle as well. And that's a dead penguin. Alright. One more blue charge left. And Spider is finally dead for Jinny. But not before Butterfinger is able to gain basically a half-stage lead over Jinny in race number 2. Eagle is being a very kind bird. 0 dives for Butterfinger. One thing to bring up is Butterfinger does not have an E-tank this time. He did pick up that safety heart again, but he does not have that E-tank that he had in the first round. He didn't need it in the first race, but it is no longer an option for him. Penguin, with one final slide, takes a dash lemon to the face. This blue eye can be one-cycled, and Butterfinger gets it very nicely. He's got one more hit on that red eye, and now one cycle for the nose. Can he get it? Looks like it. Nailed it. Very good rank of fight for Butterfinger. Mech strats. Did die to D-Rex in game 1. Butterfinger also missed Illo Skip 3 times in game 1. But he cleans that up very nicely. And Jinny getting some dives. Got about 5 of them there. Butterfinger back to the simple left-right pattern that is the chameleon fight. And finishes them off very nicely. So let's see what type of face Jinny gets. An immediate green eye. And a second green eye. Let's finally get that by. He's not able to one-cycle the nose, so he will have to do with the rotation. But what is up with these eyes? He's got 3 green eyes. Unfortunate RNG for Jinny there, who's already behind needing some help from the RNGesus to be able to get back into it, and he got the devil instead. Now Butterfinger rotating his way to the Octo. Now Jinny heading his way up. He also missed a low skip last run. And he misses it again. At this point, Jinny is going to have Butterfinger suffer a major catastrophe in order to be able to catch back up. And this is any percent, where anything can go. Butterfinger opted to not take the E-Tank. Can't be certain at this moment. Very clean mammoth fight there. You see the legacy strats from Jinny. Oh my goodness. And I do believe that that's it. The GG from Jinny has just come out in SRL. Dot forfeit is down. And at the completion for Butterfinger of this run, Butterfinger will take this race 2 games to 0. An unfortunate ending to Jinny there. Climbing up just a bit too high on the wall, hitting the spikes at the ceiling. No way to go down. And now Butterfinger. Climbing the Sigma wall. That's a very good dog. Looks as if he took of damage from a projectile. So now Butterfinger. He has a very good Sigma fight as well. He does miss that E-shield, but seems to have gotten the rotation where he wants it. Does miss a pair of shots there on the timing, but he's able to finish off Jedi Sigma very nicely. And now Butterfinger. Final fight. Bringing it home. Taking out the Reploids. One stupid dog at a time. Getting a lot of lightning on that left claw. Now the right claw wants to come over and join him. Oh, he's got to be careful now. He doesn't have that E-Tank that he gets back up. He should be good now. 3 hits to go. 2 more. 33-14. Very good by Butterfinger. GG to him. Going to take round 1 of the bracket stage. 2 games to 0 over IrregularJinny, and he will move on to a matchup against Reebs in the 2nd round. See if Butterfinger is wanting to be available for an interview.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Butterfinger. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
All right. Congratulations on your victory. How are you feeling about your runs?
Thank you. I just relieved that I could round one of the tournament.
Relieved comes with a bit of a problem, though, as your round 2 opponent is be Reeves. How do you feel about the matchup you got against him?
The Reeves is the next of my opponent.
Correct.
I don't know. I don't know if I will be able to compete against him. Like today's, I can't compete with him.
Oh, well, we do know, for the people that have followed this channel and have been following the tournament, and especially been following the runners within the channel, that the performance you put up today was definitely not your number one. So if you show up 100% versus 100%, can you hang punch to punch with Reeps?
It's very tough to run this category as 100% you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. It is, especially with, any single mistake that you make has catastrophic consequences. But let's get some predictions. We got some predictions from Reeves last night. Who's gonna win round 2, Reeves or Butterfinger?
My predictions?
Yeah, we have a prediction. Who's gonna win round 2?
If I'm not Butterfinger, I would bet 100% for Reeves. But I'm Butterfinger, so I need to make race for people who love MMX and people who likes to watch this.
Oh, I've been following you for about 3 years now. I'm 100% confident that you're going to come back and put up some good runs in that next race.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So round 2, everybody, is going to be Reeves versus Butterfinger1084. And that's going to be a good match. That's going to be a really good matchup. Both runners are, your PB's 3120, right, Butterfinger? Or 3220, somewhere around there?
3220 or something. I actually don't remember.
The personal best for Reeves and Butterfinger is separated by about 27 seconds. So definitely come out for that match and cheer our runners on. Gonna go ahead and cut it out for the time being. Coming up next for the Mega Man X community on Speed Gaming Channel 2 in roughly 39 minutes is going to be Darren Vile and Niyaki. And then at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Speed Gaming Channel 4 is going to be Energy Zam and Bro G-Man. And rounding out the tournament tonight at 7 p.m. on Speed Gaming, this channel right here is going to be Madu1311 and Torta Diego. And that should be a really good match to end out the day. Anybody else have anything to say? Butterfinger, any last words on how you ran today?
Oh, thanks for commentating for our races, cars.
It's always a pleasure to be able to join up with you guys.
For watching our races, guys in chat.
If nobody else has anything, you guys have a wonderful day and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.